Chapter 75.
You are now listening to the Chapter of the Architect with DJ Architect.
Hey, what's going on, my peoples? Once again, this is your homeboy, DJ Architect. This is Chapter 75. In the studio with me today, we got the big homie, Big Sherm, in the place to be. Sherm, thank you for coming in, man, and spending some time with me in the studio, brother. How you been?
I've been good, man. I've been better than a lot. And, I personally have been good. My household has been great. How you been?
Oh, brother. Well, obviously, I've been going through it. Listeners of the podcast, I'd like to apologize for not putting out an episode in quite a while, but the reality is, guys, COVID exists. It's real.
Yeah.
It's at your door. It's to your left and to your right when you go get groceries. It's around us, man. And unfortunately, December 18th, my wife got COVID from one of her coworkers. I think it was a total of 4 or 5 coworkers that got infected, got sick. Let's see, Wednesday, they found out that the first person was infected. My wife took some time off from work to go get tested because, what's the word, Sherman? She's high
Risk.
high risk, right? She has asthma. And sure enough, Friday she tested positive. And guys, this is something you guys have to understand. Just because you test positive on a specific date, it doesn't mean that that's the start of COVID for you inside your system. You could have been positive and infected 3-4 days prior. You just at that moment acknowledged you have COVID due to the testing, but you could have been infected 3-4 days prior to the actual acknowledgement of the test. So I looked at my wife and I did something. Now looking back on it, I did something very ignorant, Sherm. I looked at my wife and, logically I thought to myself, well, probably been infected for the past 2-3 days. I'm just guessing here, right? This is my wife, guys, so I'm sleeping in the same bed with her. We've been around together for, the last several days because she's been off from work. The smart thing to do was to probably immediately quarantine and separate. But I looked at my wife and, guys, I'm not saying to do this. I don't condone it. But there's something in me that I looked at my wife and then I said, you know what? I probably already have it because we've been around each other, nonstop and really not protecting each other as far as a face mask or quarantine. I said, I probably already got it. So I'm going to ride this one with you. And my wife looked at me and she goes, you know what? That's brave of you. And I was like, well, I probably already got it. So let's go. I'm going to tell you something, guys. If that were to happen again, I suggest to you, and obviously what we're going to do is I'm a quarantine. If she gets it first or if I get it first, because you learn from mistakes, guys. You need someone inside the household that's healthy to have the energy to take care of everyone else that's sick. And I'm not, obviously everyone's still going to be quarantined, but someone still needs to cook and make sure people are taking their medications and all that good stuff. But when all 3 of us got sick, that's my wife, myself, and my mother-in-law, who's 73, I believe.
Damn.
Brother, we were hurting. And as the man, even though I was hurting and I was in pain and more so the shortness of breath was kicking my ass. And the fatigue, it was crazy. But I know my wife was worse, so I had to endure a lot of going up and down the stairs, preparing breakfast, making sure my mother-in-law was okay. And at the same time, we didn't get mild symptoms, guys. We got a good ass whipping for 3 weeks. It was a good ass whipping. It started off, let's see, Friday, we got the news. Saturday, we started getting mild symptoms. Sunday, my wife gets a fever. So, within 2 days of us knowing.
This was before Christmas?
Yeah, this was like the 18th, 19th. And then to make matters worse, on the 19th, I get a call from my aunt letting me know that my mother had passed away.
Damn.
So we know the symptoms will be hitting us soon. We don't know how bad. And then I get a phone call that my mother passed away. And
Non-COVID, right?
Non-COVID. No, she had Alzheimer's. She was battling for several years. And unfortunately, God bless her soul, man, she passed away due to that.
Was that anywhere on your radar? I mean,
yeah,
immediate?
we had word that she was not doing well.
Okay.
So it wasn't unexpected, but you can imagine, man, the stew of emotion, man. It was, and like as you guys know, on the previous podcast, I was going through some, and still am going through issues. But it was, it happened. Let's see, Sunday morning. I recall. Which was probably the 20th. I recall making some chicken soup. I still really didn't have any symptoms, so I'm making chicken soup. And I'm listening to YouTube, and my mother's favorite band is the Beatles. So I'm playing a lot of the Beatles songs. Like, this is like, I guess, my moment to grieve for my mom, and I'm cutting the vegetables, and I'm crying thinking about my mom. The very next day, we got hit hard, man. That's like when the body aches really started coming in, the fatigue. My wife started getting a fever. Her mother got a fever several times. I never got a fever. No migraines, no headaches. I hear that's an issue with some people. But the biggest thing that we noticed was the fatigue and the shortness of breath. So, guys, listen, I'm not a doctor. All I'm going to say is what helped us. Don't go ahead and utilize a vitamin that I suggested or I spoke of and say, I'm responsible. I'm not a doctor.
You drank Lysol?
What was that?
You drank Lysol? No? Okay, never mind. All right.
I did not. Guys, so what we did was we prepared. We had a oximeter. That's very important for you guys to have, because when you guys start getting shortness of breath, and specifically when you start coughing so much, I mean, we would cough so much. I remember I would get dizzy, and I would just see stars, like somebody punched me in the forehead. Mm-hmm. But the walking up and down the stairs, by the time I got to the top stair, I was winded, man. Like, I felt like I had just sprinted.
Damn.
And I was like, holy shit. And more so, I was tired. I was fatigued, body aches. It was a rough period, man. It was for all three of us. The funny thing is, regarding my mother-in-law, for the first week and a half, she really had little symptoms, like small symptoms, fatigue, maybe a little cough here and there. No shortness of breath. She was okay with that. But going on to week 2, it started to hit her hard. I remember one morning, I'm downstairs and it's about 9:30, and she's usually up pretty early in the morning, and I go upstairs to the bedroom to check on her. I'm like, hey, are you okay? She goes, I can't get up. So I help her up. I think that day we all decided to go to the hospital. It might have been maybe 2 weeks in. We decided to all go to the hospital to get medications. So they took x-rays and they gave us steroids.
Presidone.
Right. I think the second day that we took those steroids, man, that medication, we started turning the corner. It really helped us a lot. We started getting a little bit more energy. But my mother-in-law was getting beat down. The very next day, my wife wakes me up. My mother can't get out of bed. I go help her up out of bed. My wife has to help her in the bathroom. And we call my sister-in-law who had COVID. When she got back, her and her family went to Mexico for Thanksgiving. They came back. Apparently, they got it somewhere in the airport. So she was in the hospital for, I believe, 2 weeks. At this time, my wife, all three of us still have COVID. We're still hurting. And my wife called her sister, who was already out of the hospital, out and about, returned to work, and told her, hey, come pick up my mom, take her to Scripps Hospital in Encinitas. And sure enough, that's what she did, because my wife and I were incapable of take care of her. We're still process of recovering, so we're still fatigued, you know. But sure enough, my sister-in-law comes, takes her to the hospital, and my mother-in-law was in the hospital for, I believe, a week.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I talked to some paramedic probably maybe the week after Christmas, and he said he felt like he was just a DoorDash for that steroid. So he was just getting calls because, I mean, they were seeing that not everybody could realistically come into the emergency room. And so basically there was 911 calls, and they were saying, all right, wait one, we're going to send you a paramedic with some steroids. And so they were hooking these people up with steroids so it would give their lungs give their lungs the strength that it needed.
That's excellent, man. That's excellent, because not a lot of people were able to drive. When we went to the hospital, there weren't many people in the waiting room. I would say I had 6, no more than 7. But every person in there was in there for COVID, because every process that we did, they did the same thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because there were signs on the door when I went there for my back that said, if you have COVID symptoms, please do not come past this like sliding glass door. But
Wow.
maybe
yeah.
they changed that for
This was this had to be December and the 20, maybe sometime after Christmas.
they had tents out
Yes.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had them here now, but I think they had a triage center in the parking lot, and the numbers weren't cranking the way they expected them, and then they got hit real hard in December with Riverside County.
When we went to the hospital, they were putting up tents. There was still plenty of space inside of the waiting room, but there was about 6 or 7 people in the waiting room, but everyone was there for the same thing, COVID. Now we're still recovering. There are moments of fatigue now and then, but what makes it scary, what makes COVID scary, my wife has asthma, and she has this machine where it's like you put like a oxygen mask on, and there's like a steroid that you put into this machine, and she breathes it. And the first time we were aware that she would have to use this machine, but it was upstairs, it wasn't downstairs. So the first time she got one of her attacks of coughing and not being able to breathe, I go rushing upstairs, come downstairs. Inside the bag, there's expired medication. She goes, "Oh, this is expired." My mother-in-law is already on the way up. She comes back, she has it, and listen, guys, I know it sounds very stupid, but they're growing pains. You learn from these mistakes, and after she utilized her medication, I had a talk with my wife, and I said, "Listen, obviously, this is not going to be the last time that you're going to have this attack." What would happen is she would start to cough, and it would be nonstop, and it happened to me too. And every time you're coughing, guys, you're exhaling wind out of your lungs, and if you don't get a chance to inhale, you're choking. You got no air, and that's what was happening with her. So I told her, I said, "Listen, in the future, you got to have your machine connected to the outlet. your steroid medication adjacent next to it, all hoses, all plugs already connected, man. Just, if you're going to come downstairs, bring it with you. Let's not, it's, right, you're going to combat, you got everything you need in and on hand, right? So we learned from that. I will tell you this. There was a moment, even through all this ugly bullshit we were going through with the COVID and my mother passing away, where, my wife and I, we were together for 4 weeks straight, 24/7. And there was a moment probably around week 3 where we were just downstairs watching some Netflix series. The Christmas tree was still up, so we had the lights on, and I enjoyed the moment. It might sound odd, but I enjoyed the moment because I was enjoying the time that I was spending with my wife and my mother-in-law as well. But most importantly, man, we were still alive. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't realize this thing is taking and has taken over 400,000 people's lives, man. And I appreciated that moment. And I just said to myself, hey, man, try to, log this into your memory box.
Yeah.
I would say to anyone that's listening and you don't believe in COVID, listen, there's a lot of things that can come out of my mouth that would be very abrasive.
I
but
get it. Yeah.
I want to say it, but it really won't do any justice, and it won't make the point across the way it needs to be done. Listen, it exists, and if you don't believe in it, I really don't know what to tell you. Like, people aren't making this up, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in 2020, there was a lot of family that didn't talk to other family. You know what I mean? I mean, just because we were separated through politics and whatnot. So my red side of the family, bless their hearts. They got it. They said, screw it. We're going to all get together for the holiday. And they all got it. So I did the best I can, even though nobody's really been talking. I mean, that's just how 2020 is. I mean, everybody separated or split a line down, between us. But, I sent them flowers. I checked on them all the time. I have people at work who have lost lots of family members. And I reached out to that family and just said, I'm not doing this for shock value. I'm just saying how lucky we are because you guys all went through what you went through, and we're all here today. Some of you had pneumonia. Some of you got it pretty bad. But, hey, I'm not here to talk about politics. I just want to say I love you. And, I don't know if you're seeing people fall off, but I am. And I just want to say I love you, and I'm happy you're still alive, period.
Right.
And you leave it at that.
Guys, the reason why you have to really take this serious, and it's unfortunate. I just found out last night that my brother got tested positive for COVID. I told my brother, I said, hey man, you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna say a prayer for you. And maybe that there was like an awkward moment of silence there, but the reason why I said that is because and we got our asses whooped, guys. We got banged up, and we didn't get some of the symptoms that other people have, and we didn't get that. We were lucky not to get that, but nonetheless we were still hurting, and it lasted a good 3 weeks. The reason why I told my brother I'm going to pray for you is it doesn't affect everyone the same way. Listen, when we got well, I thought about it, and I looked at my mother-in-law and I said, this 73-year-old lady beat COVID. My wife, who has asthma, beat COVID. There are kids 8 years old, young adults, 20, 23, no health issues, and they're gone. They're gone, man. And you know, my mother-in-law, man, has got diabetes, high blood pressure, like all types of things to make her high risk, man. And she's here. And why not them?
Yeah.
It affects all of us in a different way. It's like you're playing Russian roulette, man.
And, you know, you hear a lot, too, at the beginning of this and even during and even now, just how this is just a flu, right? You know, it's just a flu. It's just a flu. We have the flu every fucking year. It's like, hey, man, I don't know one person who's died from the flu. Not saying it doesn't happen.
Right.
I'm just saying this has affected me a little bit more because everybody's falling off like flies around me. And Facebook is all of a sudden an obituary. Yeah. So, okay, cool, bro. I get it. It's a flu. I mean, it's like a flu or something, but obviously, you know, we're losing people around us so could you just shut the fuck up?
Right.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel.
Listen, I feel the same way, specifically when people have the information in front of them. And then there's people that have the information in front of them. It impacts them directly, and they still refuse to consume logic. Yeah. I don't understand it. I don't.
The mask guys, the ones that I think at the beginning, I mean, they made it clear we're not wearing masks to protect ourselves. You know what I mean? So this all became a thing at the beginning. Like, you know, we're protecting elderly people in our families, right? We're protecting people who are high risk, like your wife with asthma. You know, we're wearing a mask to protect them. But then somehow it got misconstrued to where, you know, end of summer, everybody's like, I'm strong, I'm tough. I don't need a mask. I don't need a mask because I'm strong and tough. And I just don't understand. It wasn't, you know, nobody's wearing a mask to protect your damn self. You're wearing a mask so your spit's not flying in the fucking air.
Right.
How hard is that to, like, grasp?
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, if you don't have any grandparents around you, fine. Okay, but I do. Other people do.
Yes.
I'm with. I have my kids see their grandparents all the time. Like, can you respect the fact that I want to stay in my house just because I hang out with elders? I mean, and y'all don't wear a mask because you think you're strong and an athlete? Like, that's what we're dealing with.
It just shows their ignorance and more so their inconsideration, man. Listen, the people that aren't wearing the mask, don't believe in it, give two craps about the warnings. You know, you guys are the reason that this thing it continues to spread. Of course, the different variant of the diseases is an accelerant. I understand that, but you guys are helping it. And I'm not talking to everyone who's listening to my words on the podcast. I know Sherm and I have a lot of listeners that have good common sense and are logical individuals. And if you're not, and if you don't believe in this, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to do to convince you. And you know what? Look, I'm alive, brother. I just thank the Lord for that. My wife is alive. My wife's side of the family, as far as our immediate family, man, the kids, the husband, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, all got it. His girlfriend all got it. And we're still here kicking, man. So for that, I'm grateful. My mom, Maria Esther Lopez, great lady. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I want to do something special with my brother and talk about my mom on a separate podcast whenever he pulls out of his COVID situation, man. But my mom, always a great person, sweetheart, love her. She was a sweetheart, man, and everyone loved her. She was a hustler. I would always go to Manhattan and would buy gold, cologne, clothes, come back, flip it, make profit. My mom was a hustler, man, very intelligent woman. Rest in peace to my mom, Maria Esther Lopez. I love you, and I'm always going to be with you. I know you're always going to be with me. And I pray to God that I see you one day.
Sorry for your loss, bro.
Oh, man. Thank you, brother. It was just terrible timing. But I will say this, man, and it kind of reminded me. You know, there was a moment, man, where I was like having conversations with God, and I was like, "Hey, man, give me one punch at a time. You're giving me too much." You know, I felt like I was being overwhelmed. But what I realized is, at the time that we got COVID, and the very next day, my mother passing away, what I realized is that it forced me to be around family, being my wife and my mother-in-law. And we had no other choice but to be quarantined. I think back on it now and I say to myself, what happened if we wouldn't have COVID and I would have found out my mother had passed away, my wife goes to work, my mother-in-law is not here? How many bottles of vodka and whiskey and beer would I've downed and gone through and waddled myself in pain and pity?
I like that way of thinking.
You know what I mean? Who knows, man? Who knows what could have happened? But I think that's God's way of working things out. Like, what were the chances that I were to get COVID?
Yeah.
And the next day my mother passed away. What were the chances, man? You couldn't do that again if you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, I had family constantly around me. I couldn't drink alcohol because I was, obviously on medications. And we lifted each other up, and it kept me sober. It kept me busy taking care of my wife, taking care of my mother-in-law. And maybe, you know what? God did that, man. God did that. He knew exactly what needed to happen so I wouldn't crash and hit the wall. Losing your mom, man, and losing any parent is unbearable, but that's what happened. That was my experience, and I know God was like, you know what, let's keep him surrounded by family, and let's make sure he doesn't drink.
I like that, Carlos.
Yeah,
man, I like that.
Yeah. And guys, talking about medications, I totally forgot. We were taking zinc tablets, which helped vitamin C. We were taking upwards of I think it was 4,000 milligrams a day, sometimes maybe less. Vitamin D, baby aspirin. We will alternate from Advil to Tylenol. A lot of tea, guys. A lot of teas. I'm going to tell you this tea that my mother-in-law used to make, and it helped with the phlegm. You take 4 oranges, you cut them in quarters, peel and everything. You put them in a pot with water. Maybe 1 or 2 lemons, quarter them, peel and everything, put them in there, and then you grab 3 tea bags of your favorite. You could even mix up the tea bags, and you boil it, and that's your tea. That's your tea. Oh, I'm missing the most important. I don't know if it's the most important, but ginger, sliced up ginger into bits, and it helps with the phlegm, guys.
I'll be damned.
It's January. We're still at home getting over COVID. And then you send me a text message. You see what's going on in Washington, D.C. This was January 6th.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, I'm over here making oatmeal for my wife for her breakfast. And I turn on the TV and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
What the hell? So I had a Parler account. Kind of one of them, not really a troll account, but it was just something so I could see what the fuck was going on Parler. You hear all those pundits tell you to download Parler, so I knew something cool had to be going on there. So I downloaded it, and I was watching for weeks, man. It was probably 2 weeks after the election, and I mean, daily I would see political hit lists. I would see new groups forming inside Parler that would freak your shit out. There's no moderation, or there weren't any moderators, and
to block messages or whatever. There was just free.
So basically, you could be like, okay, this is who we're gonna get. This is when we're gonna get them, and this is how we're gonna get them.
That's crazy.
And
wow.
So it was pretty wild. 2012. I've said it here before, but I was big on conspiracy, man. I was a conspiracy fool, and you and I would get down on talking about a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? But so this movement is basically it's conspiracy's greatest hits, and that Trump though is the only way out of it all. So basically, you take every conspiracy, this Q, right? You take every conspiracy that we've ever discussed, the possibilities of this, possibilities of that, but then you make Trump the top of the pyramid, and that's Q. And it's weird. It's so weird. So it's either like people who never even knew about conspiracy, they're all getting it now, but Trump is the savior. It's so wild. And he was the president of the United States. So anyway, you would see these people talking crazy stuff. I mean, we have people in Congress talking about how Israel was lighting our California fires with lasers from outer space, like Congress people. And I mean, we put ourselves in a really weird situation with conspiracies. They got
to go, man.
The way that these guys did it, it makes you think that. Well, I think I had a conversation with you before how, excuse me, I think the government was making conspiracies less attractive. And like in a sense to knock out people like Alex Jones and all those people. So there was a big like blackout. There was a big like these people are retarded for thinking this, and everything kind of went that way. And so then it took the trash or garbage from that situation, and then Q was formed, and President Trump was the leader of Q. So anyway, yeah, man, I saw on Parlor, and I got to see the dates and everything, like when shit would be going down. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe even a bit earlier. I was teleworking, I was teleworking. I got up at maybe 4:30, 4:45. I got up, and I remember I posted on Instagram, I said, get your popcorn ready.
Wow.
Because these people were just saying it straight up. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go see Trump talk, and then that's it. We're storming the Capitol. I mean, they had a plan, like drawn out plan on where to meet and when they were going to storm it. And, you had Rudy Giuliani say trial by combat. And, everybody fuck off to anybody that says Trump didn't fucking incite anything the last 4 years. Even, in that speech, he said the word peacefully. I get that. But, that guy made some crazy, crazy people. And it was really interesting to watch. Fuck.
Yeah. No, you have Trump saying, let's go to the Capitol.
Mm-hmm. Dude, remember when he said, there's nothing you people could do about it, but you Second Amendment people can do something, and that was talking about Hillary. I mean, the guy always tried to do stuff under his breath, like just to try to like his dream is to get people to act on his words to do some crazy shit.
You know what took the wind out of me, man, is when I saw a Marine veteran with the Marine hat in this turmoil. Mm-hmm. Look, guys, I'm big enough to realize we're not all going to see and agree on everything. I that's fine, right? But the Marine Corps is a military branch of service that I'm extremely proud that I served in. Whatever my political view, religious view, personal view is, I'm not going to bring the Marine Corps Eagle Globe and Anchor into that conversation because that's separate from who I am as a human being. You understand what I'm saying? That needs to be separated from any political view. And when I saw that, I said to myself, another black eye for the Marine Corps. Like, Marine Corps doesn't co-sign that shit or my personal views or none of that. None of that, man. So therefore, I don't
And that goes for all branches. I know you put an exclamation on Marine Corps, but
I
felt the same way, and so did my family and friends that served as well, that saw their branch pull the same, during a coup attempt.
I agree.
That was tough.
I agree. Tough. It's just disgusting, man.
Yeah. And props out to, a lot of cringy websites out there. Well, not websites, but like Instagram has, Navy cringe, Marine Corps cringe, and it holds these people accountable. And I do like to see that. I do like to see that, the majority of these branches are saying, what the fuck? Right. And they aren't, we're
not co-signing that shit.
Right.
Rivers, brother. Sweet rivers. It's funny because my brother's like, why you call them sweet rivers? I'm like, I don't know, man. It's fucking sweet rivers. I don't know.
Baby.
Hey, listen, guys. Phillip Rivers, number 17. I still got this guy's jerseys inside my closet, man. Pristine. Always take them to the cleaners. Beautiful. If I get some kind of stain on, I'm sitting there with soda water. I got a number 17. 17. What? How many seasons?
Fuck, man.
7. Is it 17 seasons?
2006.
I think it's 17 or 18 seasons. 16 with the Chargers, 1 with the Colts. Come on, man. That's beautiful. 17, huh? Number 17. Seasons 17. Anyways,
I didn't even know he retired until you texted me. That's how much. That's how much I separated myself when he went to Indianapolis. But
listen, okay, guys, look, the gentleman sitting across from me, Mr. Big Sherm, Dustin Sherman. He and I went to several games at Qualcomm. Guys, let me try to explain it to you so you understand. When I came from Okinawa, Japan to California, and I met my brother-in-law, Bear. He actually got me into the Chargers because he was a season ticket holder. It'd be Sunday, like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, nothing. Let's go watch a game. I'd roll with him, his cousins, and it was great, man. Later on in life, we started making like a big deal out of it. Like, we grab an RV and we would roll and we would have a great time. And so many memories, great memories, good memories were made at the Qualcomm parking lot, tailgating. 1 o'clock game starts, we're stumbling in. So losing Rivers to the Colts, I would still watch a couple of quarters of the Colts just to see how Rivers was doing. But as far as the Chargers were concerned, they're going to L.A. That's like, we don't, no, I'm sorry. But when he retired, I was like, hey, man, look, man, I have to acknowledge the fact that he never won a Super Bowl. That's fine. But nonetheless, he was a great quarterback. He had great spunk. When he was with Norv Turner, man, he would just throw these ridiculous bombs and somehow, Vincent Jackson would snatch it up, or, somebody, Gates would snatch it up. There were beautiful moments, man. And I remember being amongst great friends, roaring every time the Charger would score. I mean, look, guys, I know they weren't a great caliber team that were to go to the Super Bowl. I understand that. I'm just talking about personal moments with friends that were created inside that stadium with that team. Yeah. And those are memories I'm going to take to the earth with me, or to the fire. And Phillip Rivers was part of that, and I appreciate what he did, with the Chargers, and it was just a great time, and I have to acknowledge that.
It was hard to see the stadium go down and Phillip Rivers in the same, span of time. But I think I was 3 months old when Beach Boys played, and I think it was May 1983.
Wow.
There's pictures. I was 3 months old,
wow, and
it was after a Padre game, and we watched the Beach Boys, and there's just pictures of me being a 3-month-old kid. And wow. I was there for some great moments. And man, I remember getting my glove. I still have it in my garage. It's my baseball glove. It was signed by Ozzie Smith when they played the Cardinals. I was a kid, and I just chucked my glove at Ozzie Smith. And he said, "Whose glove is this?" And I was like, "It's mine. Can you sign it, bro?" And I still have Ozzie Smith's signature on there. I mean, yeah, he wasn't on the Padres, but it was still cool.
Nice.
I mean, so many great moments.
To do backflips on second base.
Yeah. So Jack Murph was a big one. It was weird getting used to Qualcomm, just like it was weird when Oceanside went to a 760 area code. We were always 619, but anyway, it's hard to change. Been through some changes.
You're going back in history. This
but
is
it's
me.
real.
Yeah.
But it's real. I mean, Jack Murphy. I mean, that was my shit. So they're selling seats and stuff. You can buy 2 at a minimum for bucket seats, and so I was gonna be there at the beginning, but I kind of was watching how they were selling. And you could buy 2 seats at a time during the destruction of the stadium.
Right.
And I was kind of watching, and it kind of made me think, all right, at this pace, I'll be able to catch these on eBay in like 10 years or 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people are going to be trying, like, they just raced. They spent a lot of money on these things. And I remember kind of seeing the same thing go down with Candlestick. And I have my time at Candlestick as well. But when that went down, people are doing the same thing. And so I was thinking, all right, I'm going to wait, a few years, but I will have those 2 seats sitting somewhere in my backyard. You know what I mean? Or even in the garage. I don't know.
I've yet to pass by the old site of Qualcomm because I really don't have a reason to go, all the way down to San Diego. But I'm sure it's going to be a weird feeling looking to my left and not seeing no stadium.
Anytime I go down the VA, man, that's where I make a point to drive by it.
Right. When you have an event, an ongoing event in life every year where you can get with your friends and your family and your buddies, and you can go somewhere to enjoy a sport event that you enjoy. Look, man, it's, us as not just men. I mean, I'm sure females need that getaway too with their friends, but it was just it was just a great experience, man.
It was cool. That parking lot was kind of zoned out. Like, if you've been there for a really long time, you could almost draw a map to where your old high school buddies would be, like, versus like G2, G14, whatever in the parking lot. But it's like, okay, I got to go cover this. I got to go say what up to my loan officer people, and then my military people, and then my high school people, and everybody would be like by their little light post in the parking lot. And definitely miss that, man.
Hey, real quick, man, we're gonna transition real quick. So, talking about Fett's Prize, guys, we're looking at a copy of a painting that has, guys, if you guys aren't Star Wars fans, I apologize. It has Boba Fett standing right in front of Han Solo, laying down, frozen in carbonite.
I thought it was a Native American. I was thrown off. No?
Hey, it's dope, man.
That is dope.
The reason why I wanted to show you that, because there was several times where I asked you, have you seen The Mandalorian? Have you seen The Mandalorian? Give me your opinion of The Mandalorian.
Dope. So I'm not like as nerdy as you,
right?
When it comes to Star Wars, but hey, for real, shit, man, that was dope. There was a lot of dope shit. Some of the things took me back to the OG shit.
Right.
And that was dope too. And in the end, holy shit. And then you wait through the credits, holy shit. But no, everything was great, man.
Dope.
I don't even know what to say. I look forward to Boba Fett's series starting, I think, fall next year. And I think, man, that was legit.
Dope, right?
Yeah, that was dope.
It was dope. Oh, God.
But that's like a whole new thing for cinema. I mean, it just made like everything that we know about cinema has changed completely, and I respect it. I think it's absolutely legit.
Jon Favreau, the writer, you know who Jon Favreau is?
I do not.
Okay, you ever see Swingers?
Yes.
Okay, remember the guy who had got dumped? He was a sucker-ass MC. That's Jon Favreau.
The guy that got dumped, the guy that was in the trailer with Wait.
So
Swinger?
that's Vince Vaughn, right?
Yeah,
Vince
yeah.
Vaughn and John Favreau. John
okay, so
Favreau's
his
a sucker
buddy.
SMC.
Yeah,
that-
he's a weirdo.
Yeah, my girl,
So wait, what about him?
He was like the writer, producer of The Mandalorian.
Get out.
He's one of the people that hit a home run for Disney because Disney was taking a shit when it came to the movies.
Nah, you know
Lukewarm
what?
at most.
He's got a different mind. You can tell
does,
that
brother.
even as an actor.
What the fuck?
So,
is
I
this
mean, that
guy's
makes
name,
sense.
dude. And I fucking love him. He's a fucking comedian. He's a comedian, stand-up comedian, man. Redheaded. You know, he's bowheaded,
Yeah.
but he's got red
No, I
hair.
got it. He's on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
He's fucking from Boston.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm sorry,
If
motherfucker.
Cam was here, he'd hate me right now. I don't know his name.
He has no. Listen, just to show that I know who the fuck I'm talking about. On Netflix, he has a cartoon show called F is for Family, which is fucking great.
Yeah. Keep going. I'll
Yeah,
inform
no,
you
man.
shortly.
So, anyways, John Favreau puts him in, and he says, "Hey, look,
Bill
I'm
Burr.
not, huh?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, love him. John Favreau, he's like, hey, you want to be in it? And he's like, nah, you know, I crack jokes on Star Wars, you know, nerds. You know, I be talking shit about Star Wars this whole time. And he goes, nah, man, I think it'd be good just because you have. And he's on season 1 and then he's on season 2. The season 2 portion, motherfucker did an actual, not that he's a bad actor, man, but his rhetoric, because we are prior military, and he was like, yo, the Empire, whatever the fucking ranking officer was talking to him like, yeah, you know, we go around, we fuck up, we do that, we fuck motherfuckers up, we kill motherfuckers, and he wasn't with it. He ended up shooting the motherfucker, man, because he was talking about the hardships from a foot soldier and what they go through, the people that they devastate, the lives that they negatively affect. And I felt that, man.
He's a good actor, man.
Brother, I was like, woo. And when he shot him, I was like, I would have done the same thing. Yo, listen, I know
Picture you doing
that. I was like in his shoes. I was like, get him. Oh, get him. I applaud that performance.
And then they gave him, dismissed him at the end. That's dope.
Yeah, man, Bill Burr. Hey,
He's like, really?
I respect and salute that performance, my dude. And then the thing about it, you got to remember about the Mandalorian. They was never supposed to show their face, right?
Right.
Because that's their culture, that's their community. And then the cool thing about Bill Burr's character, he said to him, he goes, "I ain't see nothing." I was like, yo, that's dope, right? You know what I mean? Because you have somebody like Burgers, like, yo, I'm gonna tell everybody.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Burgers.
Yep.
No, I'm joking.
Burgers,
I love you,
put
my
your
nigga.
camera down, bro.
I love you, Burger. I know Burgers.
Quit trying to snap shots of the Mandalorian. Damn.
Oh, man. Guys, we bugging, man. Hey, real quick, man, what's going on with GameStop and this Robinhood? I mean, look, I got Robinhood.
I did too.
I got Robinhood.
Now they're robbing the hood.
So explain this to the people. What was going on with GameStop this past week? And
All right. I don't know how schooled I am in this situation, but I'll give you my breakdown. My breakdown is that hedge fund managers do crazy shit all the time, like, Pete Rose shit. We're going to bet on my own team. And what happens when Pete Rose bet on his own team? He's ridiculed. He's never going to be in the Hall of Fame. He could do jail time if they really wanted to push it.
I got no issues with that. I think it'd be fucked up if Pete Rose says, hey, I'm betting on my team to lose.
Okay.
I think that's fucked up.
But hedge fund managers and other people on Wall Street are the Pete Rose of the game, and they're billionaires for it. And there is no focus on those dudes that bet shorts on their own businesses. If they could have a failing business and bet shorts on Wall Street.
You got to explain shorts, dog.
Shorts. You're betting for them to fail.
To fail.
Right. So it's basically
That's some fucked
you're
up shit.
taking Yankees to lose and you're on the Yankees.
And you on the Yankees, and you say, you know what, Sabathia, you benched.
Right.
Jeter,
Yes,
I know I'm talking
right.
about motherfuckers from way back ago. I know
you're
motherfuckers,
ancient.
y'all listen, y'all saying, this motherfucker Jeter ain't played since 2016. Architect, what you talking about? I know, motherfucker.
right,
Just
all
let me
right.
say what the fuck I got to say.
He's playing defense. That's
Right,
good.
you know
but
what I mean?
anyway,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, that's what the deal is. And now, I saw a meme that was pretty funny. It was somebody saying, these old people are just like talking to the young folk, like, why don't you invest your money? And then the investors are like, or those young people are like, okay, I'll do it. And then they're like, oh, no, wait, hold up. Stop doing that. And it's basically, it's a big protest. It's a big protest there. So GameStop isn't doing great, right? I mean, Amazon's doing great. Amazon, you don't need GameStop. I got this Oculus sitting right next to me, and guess what? I didn't.
Oculus later too.
Yes, sir. I didn't buy that shit on GameStop, right? I bought it on Amazon. Thank you, sir. Oh no, I'll take it. But so anyway, okay, so it's basically. Reddit, right? Reddit's like the nerd parlor. They're trying to hang politicians. So Reddit created a forum. Reddit created a forum, which I have been following for years. Wall Street Bets. And I deleted my app, god damn it, like 2 years ago. And so I got it again after all this shit went down. It's a thread it's a forum on Reddit.
On Reddit.
It's called Wall Street Bets. And so these motherfuckers without me, I mean, I wasn't there, decided, hey, guess what, guys? We are going to take $6 GameStop and push it over $400. Let's go. And so they did it. And so
Hey man, that's ballsy.
no, it's ballsy.
But it's dope.
It tipped the market.
Right.
Lots of big stocks went down. So Robinhood is sketchy because they did some sketchy shit. If I wanted to go on and buy some GameStop or some Dogecoin or AMC, they said, nope.
I noticed that.
You can only sell.
I noticed
You
that.
can only sell. And so
I noticed that.
it was that and Google. Google, just as bad, man, went into Robinhood where they leave reviews and stuff. And they deleted hundreds of thousands of shitty reviews on Robinhood because they took them down. So it's like a mafia, right? It's like a little internet mafia that went and said, we're going to destroy their reviews. We're going to destroy the market, basically. So
Really, what they're doing is they're hiding the flack that Robinhood would have gotten due to their fucked up actions, guys. So, I mean, I've got this application, right? I've got money invested in a couple stocks in this application. Not that I chose to. I was like, what the hell is going on? I really wasn't up to par with what was going on. But they would not allow you to buy the stock, only to sell.
yeah.
So then I'm thinking, and it was something due to the volatility of the market.
So check this. Oh, okay. Sorry. I can wait,
But so I was thinking, well, why can't I go to another application and buy if I want to be part of that roller coaster?
they're doing it too.
Right? They were doing it too?
Yeah, not as much. So the millennial group, I think, is tagging this one pretty hard. And it's funny because I think I told you how to do stop order. So basically, you can set a price to where if it goes up, if it comes down, you sell automatically, right?
Yeah, automatically triggered.
So the stop order, and I got a kick out of this. I have a picture of it. I took a picture. But you can see where everybody's like stop order was set at. The stop order was set at 420.69.
Wow.
So 420, obviously, pot smoking, time and holiday, and then 69. Blah, 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 blah,
obviously, right.
So it's just funny. It just shows
crazy,
it
man.
shows the age of this crew that just went on and said, you know what, fuck you. Like we're gonna do, have our effects. But at the same time, those hedge fund managers, those people on Wall Street, they do the same thing every day, but they're not kids and they're not people with not a lot of money. But this is our market. So now it's getting it's getting blown up to where we're actually seeing how the market works. And I mean, they do this all the time.
Really, it's just grabbing a bunch of power.
Right. So the billionaires, weren't hip to this Wall Street bets feed and they missed out. And so then they started sucking. And so then to recover their money, they went and bought shorts on GameStop. And people inside Reddit were like, hold the line. Do not sell. We're going to fuck these guys. And they just keep going because they're putting shorts on GameStop and we're not going to let them short. And it's working. So now this stock is doing still pretty shit hot. Dogecoin is going up. So, I mean, yeah, I sold everything and now I'm following Wall Street bets. Like I've probably checked it 5 times since we started this podcast. I'm just like, all right, what's the next one? What's the next one, guys?
But in your opinion, does it serve them right? These hedge funds, does it serve them right to have the tables turned on them?
Yes. Yeah. They've been doing illegal shit. I mean, people. So yeah, the billionaires are controlling it all the time.
Yeah.
They are messing. They are doing the same exact way. They're calling all their boys saying, "Hey, short on this. This is going to happen."
All of a sudden, the gremlin is on top of the yogurt.
Yeah, blue collar and up. I mean, these are also millionaires. I saw some stuff in there. There would be pictures from like Egypt, somebody like screenshotting their photo saying "Love from Egypt, hold the line," and somebody just bought $100,000 worth of GameStop. And so that's when you got to stop and think, okay, shit, these guys are now outside our country going, we want to stoke the fire and watch this shit go down and be a part of it.
That could be dangerous though, man.
Absolutely,
because it really affect the economy.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying.
Social structure.
So what do you do? What do you do?
Wow.
But at the same time, if anything, it would be great to expose a lot
of the fuckery.
Yeah, this is bullshit. There's a lot of illegal stuff that goes on every day that we just go, it's okay. They're not blue collar. They're up there.
No,
so
dude,
they control our shit.
It's nice that a motherfucking fan of, I don't know, Ric Flair says, we got you, bitch.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
We should all have a taste of the motherfucking champagne. Don't you not think?
That's right.
So if
that's why I'm watching. That's why I'm watching Monday morning. I'm going to be like, "Hey guys, where do we put our money next?" I'm coming with you.
Hey, so would you recommend not to close out your Robinhood account? Leave it open? What are you going to do?
There's all kinds of apps. Motley Fool, whatever. I mean, you can open multiples. It doesn't matter. I'm going to keep Robinhood. I like it. If I was going to jump on this GameStop wagon, then I'd be like, oh, fuck, I just haven't thought about it. I mean, I was following NIO, which is like, it's like Tesla of China. I mean, there's some stuff that I'm just kind of following and looking at that's not getting that much attention right now. But for those people that did have GameStop, I mean, they're fine. They got their money. You know what I mean? They just stop it when it gets crazy.
Yeah.
And hey, can you blame them? I mean,
no. All they did was, listen, guys, GameStop as a brick and mortar store is a shit. It's a fucking, everybody purchases their game online
and they were Fortune 500, bro. Last week, Fortune 500 GameStop.
Well, that just shows you the power of fucking the wave of masses. You know what I mean? I wouldn't recommend, GameStop is going to eventually collapse, guys. So
people got money to do stuff. I don't.
I'm talking about the brick and mortar store itself. That shit's going to shit. They just grabbed a fucking ugly cow and put lipstick on her and prettied her up, and she went to the prom.
It's crazy, crazy.
My brother Sherman, you got anything to say before we hightail it out of here?
I didn't think about that. Well, don't go crazy. Don't lose your shit. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt other people.
Yes.
Be nice.
Yes.
Fuck, man. Let's I don't know. Let's be cool.
Yeah, guys. Listen, man.
Calm down.
The COVID is real. You're talking to a survivor.
Yeah.
So happy to be alive. COVID is real. It's unfortunate that it's still here, and just because I went through it. My brother just got it. So anxiety, man, worries, they're still around. And if you haven't been in the hurt locker where you know somebody or you yourself have gotten it and got it and still feel that it's a fabricated story, I don't know what to tell you. I don't wish that you get it because I'm not that type of person. But eventually you're going to learn. Eventually you're going to learn. Hopefully God gives you the opportunity to put a brain in your skull. But aside from that, guys, listen, take care of each other. Double mask if you have to. I know it's hard to breathe. You guys take care of each other. Once again, guys, this has been your homeboy, DJ Architect. Want to give a big thank you to my homeboy, Big Sherm.
Yes, sir.
For taking his time and being here in the studios with us. Once again, guys, we love you. Please take care. Guys, I would also like to take this time out to thank Sherman and his family for taking care of my family and I when we were sick. They were coming, dropping off groceries at our front door. Greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your help. We are out.
Peace.
DJ